we've just been observing the market since after the US elections. Price has just been dropping, right? If you're looking to trade gold in this new week or in the coming weeks, make sure you watch this video to the end and make sure you subscribe. Click on that subscription button and share this video with others so that they can find this. Now, looking at gold, so gold is, you see, when you look at the 4 hour, you most likely say gold is now very bearish, right? True, gold has broken structures and gold is pushing down, but you need to go to a higher time frame. You need to go to a much higher time frame. Let's go to the monthly. Now, on the monthly, as you look at the monthly, you begin to see that gold on the monthly is still bullish, right? Gold has always been bullish. Look at this. Gold has always been bullish. Gold always goes up, right? So no doubt about that. Gold always goes up, and gold is still bullish on the monthly. But what we're having now is what we can call a higher time frame pullback. That's what we're having. We're having a higher time frame pullback. You know, back then you'll be getting a lower time frame pullback, like the 1 hour pullback or 4 hour going down, you get. But what we're having now is a higher time frame pullback, like the monthly time frame pullback, right? So price gold is trying to cool off. Price is now pulling back down to a support area where it will most likely continue to buy from. And the support area I'm looking at is gold can come all the way down to 2386 or through 2400, right? Gold can come all the way down to 2400, 2400. It can do that. But another thing gold could do is gold could just come down a little to 2500 and then just start to push up, right? So it all depends on how this current month's candle closes. This November month candle closes. How would it close? And that's what I'm waiting to see. Is this month's candle going to close very bearish, or would it have a long week rejection? So this is what I'm talking about. Let's draw this for you guys so you see it. Now let's say this is gold, right? Now, and gold has something of this nature, a long week rejection. Imagine gold closes like this, all right, this month. It then means that this long week will be an indication that gold is looking to continue its move up, right? So you just need to observe the market. Once you see this on the monthly time frame, you know that gold is going to continue its move up in no time, right? And we understand because the year is coming to an end. We'll give another analysis at the end of the year to let you guys know what you should be looking out for. So, but let's just wait and see how this month candle closes. If it closes like this, now if it closes very bearish, right, if it closes very bearish, right, something like this, then it's most likely that gold is going to push down. It will continue its push down, right? So we might see, if this month closes very bearish, we might see gold push down lower, right, to somewhere around 2400, 2450, thereabout, right? So we never know. We never can tell right now. We don't decide what happens to the market. No, price does what it wants to do. We are the ones to use the information to come up with different probabilities and just wait for price to come to our key zones, and we look for the right entries and setups when they present themselves to us, and then when we see that, we go in either on the buy or on the sell. So like I said, on the higher time frame, like the monthly, gold is just experiencing a pullback. Even though it has broken through the previous month's low, it's still a pullback, right? It's a pullback. But on the lower time frame, like the 1 hour, the 4 hour, it's a strong bearish move downwards, right? So we just need to wait. So if it's a pullback on the monthly, what we just need to do is wait for a change of structure on the much more lower higher time frame, like on the 4 hour. Wait for a change of structure for, you know, when prices now starts to show us that the structure has changed and now prices is now bullish, you know, aligning itself with its overall higher time frame, like the monthly, and then we're going to be going in for the buys, right? So let's go down to the weekly. So now looking at the weekly, price has broken structure. Clearly price has broken structure at this point, right? Seeing that price has broken structure at this point, like I said, this new week now that we're in, price would most likely push up. Price can do two things. Price can push up to around 2600 or even as high as 2685, right? Price can push up to as high as 2685. Yeah, and then from these 2 points, either 2600 or 2685, we're going to be looking for selling opportunities, right? Because price has broken the structure. So if price pushes up, we're going to look for selling opportunities from this point, 2685 or 2600 if we see a good setup at that point, because price might not push up, but price would most likely push up. That's what I think. But if price doesn't push up and we see a good setup at 2600, then we'll jump in on the sell too as well. And once we see that good setup, we know that price will most likely come back down to the previous low of this particular candle and might break it. If it wants to break it, we'll just keep an eye on it to see what price wants to do, right? Because like I said, we don't determine what happens to price. Price determines what it wants to do. So let's say we see a push up like this and price comes down here. We're going to watch it to see what it does, and if it breaks it, fine. If it breaks it and we're in on the trade, we hold the trade, and we know that price will most likely come back down to somewhere around 2400 level, right? Something like that. So that's what we're looking for. If we see the good selling opportunities, we'll go in on the sell. But like I told you, remember, this is just a major pullback on a much more higher time frame, and so we need to still be keeping our eyes for good buying opportunities. So now another thing, like I said, price could do is price could most likely from here, from this zone, this low of the previous week, just start pushing up, and like we said, push up to 2685, and it could just even push higher, right? It could break it and just go higher, right? So if we are able to catch this push up, if we are able to catch this push up from here to 2685, right, we're going to lock our profit. We're going to hold the trade. Now if we see the price is giving and printing continuation patterns around this 2685, we're going to hold the trade, right? But if we see that price now begins to print invalidations and giving us signs that it wants to reverse back down, then we come out of trade and we look for selling opportunities. It's as simple as that. Now trading, that doesn't mean that trading is simple. Trading is not simple. Trading is very difficult, right? But I mean, those are things we're going to be looking out for. Let's go to a much lower time frame. Let's go to the daily time frame. So looking at the daily, it's the same thing we said, the same thing. So one of the things we can keep an eye for is at this point, this current low where price is at, right? Let's wait, and if we see good entries for a buy, let's say we see a bullish engulfing candle printing, right? Because every time you see where there was a pull back down and then you saw a bullish engulfing candle, price went up. Every time you go back to history, you see that. So let's wait. Once we start seeing confirmations of a push up, then we'll start getting ready and we'll get in on the buys, right? And once we get in on the buys, like we said, we're going to be looking out for this zone 2600 and 2685. Take note of those two zones. Those are the two main zones, 2600 and 2685. So between those two zones, we're going to be observing the movement of price, and if price gives us confirmation that price now wants to reverse back down and continue on the sells, then we're going to enter on the sells and hold it. Let's see where it gets down to, right? It all, at the end of the day, it all boils down to the monthly candle. Guys, you understand? It all boils down to the monthly candle. How will this month's candle close? It all boils down to this month candle. So after this week that we're entering, and the new week, and the next week rather, right, that's when we're going to really know, does price want to actually keep coming down? Let's go back to the 4-hour time frame. So like we said, on the 4-hour now, on the 4-hour, if we see good buying opportunities presenting itself here, we're going to take it, right? We're going to take it up and watch out for either this 2600 zone. If it breaks it, good. Then we'll watch out for the 2686 zone. If it breaks it, also good. But if it doesn't, and then it begins to print signs of reversal, then we're going to go in on the sells, and from there we're going to watch to see what price does. Are you guys getting this? So we'll look for how to capitalize on the buys around here if we see good selling opportunities, good buying opportunities. So we'll capitalize on the buys around this whole zone. If we see good buying opportunities, we'll ride it up, and if price breaks this point 2600 and goes higher to 2686, very good. Now if price gets there and breaks it and goes higher, very good. But if price doesn't break it and from that zone price begins to print bearish reversals, right, then we'll go in on the sells and we're going to hold the trade, and then we'll just observe to see what price does once price gets back down to this point. Is price going to break it lower, continuing the sells down, or will price begin to consolidate sideways to the close of the year or something, right? So we're gonna just observe. So that's what we are looking out for. Remember guys, we don't move price, we don't tell price what to do. Price does what it wants to do, to whatever strategy you're using, right? Price does what it wants to do. Our job is to analyze the charts, use the information given to us, come up with different probabilities of what we think could happen, and wait for price to get to our key zones. Some of you in your different strategies call it your area of interest, your point of interest. When price gets to those key zones, then we're going to be looking for sells or buys from those areas, right? And I've told you the key areas that we should be looking out for. We're going to be looking at 2540 area to 2550 area for buys, see how price forms, and then we're going to be observing 2600 and 2685 to see how price forms also when price gets to those points for sales, right? And that's that, guys. And those of you who trade like, let's say, the ICT or the SMC or whatever, and like I always say, these strategies are actually similar, right? I don't know why people are always fighting themselves over what camp they belong. So let's say you trade, is it the ICT or whatever, you guys trading you call it your break of structure, your inducement, your liquidity, and all that stuff, your fair value gaps, right? Now if you look at this, you see that price broke structure here, right? And then what price will be looking for to do is to go back to take inducements and liquidities and then to start dropping back again, right? And that's what we're talking about here. So if you look at it, you can refer to this. What was it that caused this break? This guy here caused the break. So you can call this your inducement, right? You can call this area inducement too, or liquidity, whatever. So price is going to go back up there, take it, and then drop, right? So this is the 1 hour. Let's go to the 4 hour. So it's the same thing, right? Same thing you see. So what caused this break over here? This guy. So price could go up, take the inducement, go up, look for liquidity. There are equal highs here. Take the liquidity, as you can see here, and then drop. So guys, that's how you guys trade, right? Let's say that's what you guys are doing. So price can take this inducement, come up, take liquidity, and then it begins to drop. So whichever one, like I said, we're going to be looking for buys at those key areas, and we're going to be looking for sells at those key areas. These are the things we're looking for, guys. These are the things we're looking for. It's that simple. So guys, make sure to subscribe to this channel and share and like this video to others, so that you don't miss up on any update when we post them for you guys to see. I'm just curious to see how this really curious to see how this month closes and how the year is going to end, so I'll have an idea of what next year is going to look like, right? let's see how it all goes, guys. So you guys, peace out, have a successful trading week. Peace out, guys.